Hello y'all, welcome. My name is Lauren and today I'm going to be talking about my book journal. Ta-da! Well, a 6-month recap of my reading journal, which is very exciting. I kept on waiting to make this video because there's some stuff that I wanted to finish, and then I was like, you know what? Let's be realistic. So yeah, I'm pretty much always behind on this journal, but I always have a really good time using it, so I think it all kind of evens out in the end. So first things first, this is a Hobonichi Weeks. I really love it. It is the Denali in the Midnight Sun cover, or yeah, like the design underneath the cover. And the cover is, I always forget the name of it, but I'll put it up on the screen. I believe it was released in 2003. It's so fun. I love it. It's like this constellation theme, has this like gold detailing that's really cool. So super amazing. So fun, and I think the combination of them look really, really well. So we'll see if I use this next year. It's very exciting that the Hobonichi 2026 releases are like right around the corner pretty much. So yeah, we'll see what they have, but I do love this cover. The only regret that I have is that this is my second year in this, like using a Hobonichi Weeks as a book journal. And I didn't have a cover last year and it was fine. So I like put down the pocket sticker that it comes with, and yeah, this really upsets me, this situation. So the cover pocket overlaps this pocket. So it's just every time. It's like, why did I do that? But hey, it'll be okay. And then yeah, I have the Mikitagishi Weeks pencil board in here, which is really fun. So cute, I love it. All right, so let's get into the book itself. Ta-da. Nothing pretty much on the inside. Pockets as you saw, except for the pencil cover. And then this is super fun. I wanted to do stickers of just cats with a book, so I've been like looking for them all year. And I have a good amount. I just have like a couple of blank spaces left. So I'm pretty proud of that. And then this one is just a traveler's book sticker that doesn't have a cat. Sadly, but I still loved it so much I thought it was okay for the spread. And then this one I did draw myself, very inspired by the illustrator Lydia Nichols. And then I think, let's see, this is by Cat Collage Club, Micah Oatley, so talented. This is by DIY Anna, I think their name is on it, or her name is on Etsy. But I'll link them all below, or at least the ones that I know for sure. And this is Riley's Desk, washi tape. Yeah, I think that covers like this, not small, you know, the people I know. And then the rest are kind of like Japanese stationery brands. But yeah, so if you have a cat with a book sticker, please let me know. And if it is nice and perfectly fits in these 3 little sizes, that would be even better. Okay, and then this one is, I just used this section as like a key for some of the later sections. Ta-da! And then this, you can like barely see it honestly, but this is just a dot for each book that I read in 2024. Theoretically, I was going to do that with this one, but I haven't yet. So it might be kind of nice though. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, you know what? I was like, yeah, I probably should get to that at some point. So we'll see. But that's really fun. And then what's fast becoming my favorite like spread in the book is this overview page. So this is I forget what they call it, the Calendex page, the overview page, monthly overview page, something. But basically that key here is what this insanity is referencing. And then it's up here. So I have books read, pages read, and then I always forget what the order it is. The unfilled in circle is library books, filled in circle is purchase books, and then the diamond outline is physical books, and the diamond filled in is digital books. So I think, let's see, yeah, actually purchase books. I read a purchase book for the first time in June, so that's the first appearance of the circle, very exciting. And then, oh my god, I just said it. What is the diamond? Digital books. Okay, so yeah, so digital books I read like I guess I just skipped months pretty much. So I read 2 in February, 1 in April, and then 1 in June. But everything else pretty much maybe I'm able to connect it month to month, which is really cool. And then the star, I was thinking it would just be basically like a running total. So once I get to 30, oh wow. I definitely did the math wrong because I forgot that it's 31 days, not 30. Anyway, okay, so the point was that it was going to be the star counting up to 31, and then past 31 I'd start again and just fill in the star. And then I don't know, maybe if I read over 62 books I would like outline the filled in star or something. So I thought that would be cool just to like add, I don't know, just to see like the total how many books I read, even though I have it down there, but a nice fun visual representation of it. So really the star should be on the 1 line because 31 plus 1 is 32. And this technically is showing like 31 plus 2, which is not correct. But hey, whatever, you know what, counting is hard. Yeah, but I really love this page. I love how it's turned out. I did something kind of similar last year, but I like, okay, counting is hard. I messed up the page count scale, so it was like really squished. So I figured that out for this year. I'm probably never gonna read 3,000 pages, but hey, it's there just in case. And plus I'm still using that, what is it, the y-axis? I'm still using it for like other data that I do actually like kind of get up there, so hooray! And then next up this is the December 2024 spread. So this one is, I really love this one as well, but but I really love this spread. Each little piece of washi tape represents one book that I finished reading. So I get to show off my washi collection, always exciting. It's always growing, so that's really fun. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie, to cut tiny pieces of washi tape. It gets a little bit tedious, not a little bit, very extremely tedious, but I really love it and I think it's really fun. Last year I think I filled up like 1 row at a time. This year I'm doing like a diagonal vibe instead for some reason, just because I felt like it. So there you go. Some of my fun washi, ta-da! Some gold foiling, get to see all the fun properties. Yeah, it's perfect. And then these are the actual monthly pages. I think this is actually different than last year. I can't even remember what I did last year, honestly, but I know maybe that this is different. Also, yeah, I'll link that video as well. I know it's because I'm always trying to like evaluate what would be better. So like referencing what I did last year and this year in my mind kind of like helps me be more creative, but I realize that's kind of confusing because why would I keep referencing it? But anyway, so yeah, I pretty much just fill 1 line in like with a specific color, and then I alternate colors. I usually have like 6 pens inked, yeah, at a time. So there's always, I've never read more than 6 pens, but I feel like that's enough to keep going and then restart the whole sequence. I feel like these colors are probably a little too similar. Also, I messed up on the very first book that I did, but look at that. It's like pretty seamless of a cover up, I feel like. Just goes to show you can make plenty of mistakes and it will always be okay. But yeah, I really like that. I do, we'll flip back here really quickly. I did these monthly review, okay, yeah, so monthly recaps, and unfortunately the paper was very sad, and like these look nice, I'm happy with those. And then I use this really light ink, and you can kind of see it, you could definitely see it other places as well, but that blue ink really started to, I know this is probably like ghosting, veers on like a little too much ghosting. And yeah, I love that I did this whole entire page, but then it just makes me so sad every time I look at it because it's so hard to read, and yeah, it just really sapped my motivation for doing these monthly recap pages. But I did realize that I feel like most of this information I can adapt to the actual monthly spreads, which would be way more interesting anyway. So I might go back and do that. Weirdly, like the highest barrier to these pages are these graphs, because I have to export all my data and then re-import my data into a different program and then make the graphs and then also get out a stamp for the circle. And it's like, I don't know if I care that much, you know, to do these. It's like fun, but I almost never look at those graphs. I look at the star ratings. I definitely want to see, like, make sure that I'm enjoying the books that I read, of course. Physical and digital, that's all much more interesting to me. Like author, not genre. author, what is it? Author gender, wow. Anyway, gender is a construct. But yeah, so that's interesting to me. Book of the month is really fun. I like that. Yeah, but this one graph, I could just stop doing it and it would be fine. I also thought, I actually did have the idea, I think it's on one of these post-it notes. But yeah, like these little blocks. So I would do like a little block in watercolor, like down here of what the genre was. And yeah, I think that was my idea. And then I didn't do it. And then now I'm thinking, yeah, actually that would have been real cool to do. Oh, and these, like the censored books are fan fiction. Definitely I'm not ashamed to read fan fiction, but I do think this particular author and like that fandom I don't want to support or, you know, encourage in any way. So I'm just not going to mention what that fanfic is, but fanfic is great. Definitely read fanfic if you enjoy it. Okay, and then yeah, I also do this like line if I didn't read a day that I was like actively reading a book, just because I think it's easier for me to see gaps. Like I think I was traveling this week. And then also I started to do, if I play a video game, because that's like kind of the time that I have, I can either read or play a video game. I do think next year I want to play more video games. I know every parent's dream to stop reading in favor of playing more video games. But yeah, I started doing that in pencil. So who knows, next year I might make this more of like a hobby journal, but just for books and video games. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what the pencil is for. And I think there was something else. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I note if I DNF a book, and then actually I don't think I've continued a book across a month so far this year. I think I'm really motivated to finish it on the last day of the month. So theoretically I had a plan if that was like the case. I was gonna do like an arrow, but it hasn't happened yet. So there you go. Oh, and I also note down like upcoming releases in the month, but I don't really purchase books. So I don't pre-order things, or that's a lie. I do pre-order books, but I very rarely buy new releases just because I feel like I'm always like a year or two behind reading books that I want to read. So by the time I get around to it, it's available at the library and there's no need to run out and purchase it. Those are those pages. And then I have some stickers. This is just a sticker release piece of paper that I butchered from a traveler's notebook. These have, there's actually another category of stickers that I have to make more of, but these stickers are when I go to the library. These are book club stickers. These are video game stickers, again, you know. And I use these in the actual weeks section that you'll see in a minute. These are for physical books and these are for digital books. So I'll flip back to this page once we get there, but yeah, that's what that is. Love a good swatch page. I think every single one of my journals this year has a swatch page. They're always, yeah, a great time. Swatch pages are great. So these are for my watercolors that I use. That's like what this little key was made out of. Watercolors, ta-da! Kind of see, yay. And then this is for ink swatching. So this is all of the inks that I've used in this book. It's actually a little behind, yeah. So this is definitely one of the pages that I have to update. My reading goal page. I was 80 books this year, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna get there, and that's okay. Yeah, like I said before, I think I don't love the pressure of, usually like in years past, obviously, I've read 80 books no problem, but you know, things change, priorities change, and I think 80 is like a little bit too much, so maybe next year I'll make it like 50 or something. That's like a little bit more realistic for me, because I do like, I'm not the kind of person who likes not meeting goals. You know, sometimes there's like a whole whatever psychology behind it, like you want aspirational goals and then you want goals that you can meet. I always want the lowest bar possible. I love meeting goals without trying really hard. Anyway, so yeah, but I do think I recognize that I'm probably not gonna read 80 books, and that is just fine. And then spending goal, I don't know why I said goal, this probably should be budget, but yeah, budget of $100, and so far I've just pre-ordered a type design book, so we'll see if I spend more. Okay, and then this one is want to read, it is duplicate information, which I know isn't always great, but it is, like if there was, you know, I think I have Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil. Yeah, so Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, I'm sure is also on this list. Yes, the first one. Actually, yeah, in a different color ink, which is interesting. And then the green are books that I've read. I don't know if I like that. I kind of like crossing things off. So yeah, so that's the ones that I've actually read so far. And then, gotta drive myself nuts. I like put the author on this page and then not on this page. So anyway, it will be fine. Okay, so here's the actual weeks itself. Pretty much, I haven't really changed anything since I started, but yeah, I use those stickers here. So I went to the library this day, and then also The Art of Memory Keeping by Martina Calvi is a physical book, so that's why I put that physical book sticker there. And then if I don't read a day, sometimes I put an X, sometimes I don't know. Depends if I'm paying attention. And then if I continue the book through the next week, I'll do like an arrow and then, oh no. I lied. So this means that I finished the book if there's a line, but yeah, there we go. The arrow means I'm continuing it to the next week. Ta-da! And then, yeah, I try and be consistent with it. And then I also started new this year, I started copying down quotes, which I've really liked because, not that I don't have, sometimes I have a lot of thoughts, sometimes I read a lot of books, but usually I would say like this section is kind of a little sparse sometimes. So copying the quotes, I like the look of filled pages. So that's fun, but also, yeah, it's just nice, I don't know, to flip back, and I feel like quotes capture a book really nicely, even more than like writing down my thoughts sometimes. So yeah, so that's been fun. I have changed up the style a couple of times. Oh yeah, okay, so this is what kind of makes my head spin. So this ink is Zabun. Look at that, beautiful, barely any ghosting. The next page, barely any ghosting. And then like some pages, it's just very slightly worse. I don't know, like this is the same ink. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, it wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was now. But yeah, the bleed through on this paper has been something I've definitely noticed, whereas last year it was no issue. So sad time for Hobonichi, but somehow we get through it. Okay. But yeah, I was looking for like a nice, oh yeah, so this black cat means that usually I read at home, so if I read outside of the home, it's kind of like exciting. So I note that down. Yeah, okay, here we go. So I started doing this for the quotes, and I really enjoy that. I think that's a lot of fun. And then also, I write like the day that I'm writing, not necessarily the day that I read the quote. Not really a huge distinction, honestly, but it just, I don't know, because I want to like write a date when I'm writing, so that's what I ended up doing, and yeah, I kind of like that. And then yeah, I also note, what was I, 6 something, you know, I don't know. But if there's like something going on that week, not that I like have to be reading every possible day that I could be reading, but I like to note what else was going on when I don't read. Yeah, and this green was really bad. That was really surprising. Ugh. Sadness. Okay, so I think that's it for the weeks pages. Let's go flip to the end. Ta-da! So these are in the like note pages at the end. Let me see, wait, what's the previous page? Just notes. I should fill this out actually, because I do love that they're numbered. So I love drawing all the covers of every single thing that I read. Sometimes they're real bad, and that's okay. I usually try and do like one shot, so I don't like really erase. I draw them in pen. I really just go for it and hope for the best, and it's been a lot of fun. I actually got this idea from an author. I think her name is Ashley Robin Franklin. She's a great author. What did she write? I forget the book's name, but it's like a really fun queer horror book. But she did a project where she drew like all the book covers that she read, and I thought, that sounds awesome, let me try that. And yeah, I started it last year, I kept it going this year, and it's been really fun. And I think mostly Maddie, I think she's the one that I copied the dimensions of the covers from, but she prints hers out. Actually, she does a completely different layout. I'm almost positive though that hers is the layout that I copied, but it is very different. So maybe, I don't know, maybe at some point she just had a layout like this. Anyway, thank you, Maddie, because I think she also does a reading book in the weeks, but she's really great. Okay, so for these ones, you just write the book, the star rating. I leave a line for the star rating if I like draw this before I finished reading it. Star rating, title, author, and then like a couple of notes about it. So yeah, I've really enjoyed what I've read this year. A couple I've not enjoyed, but hey, that's just the way it goes. YN is like one of those novels that's like, usually, you know, novels have like a structure, you could like see how someone could write it. This is one of the ones where I'm like, I don't even know how you know what to write next kind of a thing. So points for just like pure artistry in writing. I think that's really cool. And then same goes for walking practice, honestly, really cool. I do wish it had noted, in case you read this digitally, the translator kind of does something at one point to mimic something the original author did in the original Korean, and I really wish that had been noted as like a foreword instead of the afterword, because I thought something was messed up with my Kindle. I was trying to fix it, and nope, that was how it was supposed to be read, which is really cool. I love that. I just wish I had known it was intentional. And then I think I read this one based on the recommendation of Grapey. I think she's Grapey's Bookstagram everywhere. But yeah, I definitely read a lot of her recs. This walking practice was from her. Really good. And then, oh man, Reforged. This is like the most disappointing DNF that I've had. A lot of people really love him though, so maybe I should give him another shot. I think this was like his first book, so maybe it's just like some quirks that I couldn't look past in like a first book. But that, you know, he gets obviously better and better as time goes on. But for this one, it's like A+. It's like my dream trope pretty much. It's like a knight and a king. So fun. But the knight's job is like to protect the king at all costs. And the nail in the coffin for me was like the knight has this conversation with someone and they're like, you have to protect him. And then like the next line is like, I didn't see him for 3 days. And I was just like, what? You know, he like won this challenge thing to be like the king's guard for like forever. And it's like, what do you mean you haven't seen him for 3 days? I don't know. Just like tiny world building stuff like that really grated on me. And I just couldn't handle it anymore. But maybe I'll go back to it. Let me know if you've read Reforged. Let me know how you feel, because I would love to like it. Yeah, I think this page is probably one of the lowest ratings. I really enjoyed Pet and Bitter, but I think I wish I had read just Pet. Bitter's like a prequel to Pet. I think it was published after. I think Pet is really fun on its own, but because I had read Bitter, I didn't like it as much. And then I didn't feel like Bitter, in retrospect, I feel like Bitter wasn't, I don't know. They both had really fun, like not fun, but they both were like really well written. The characters were great, but I think I would have enjoyed knowing if just one of them was like a standalone. I don't think they worked in tandem, pretty much. All Systems Red, the Murderbot series. So good. Really glad that I started this series this year. It's so much fun. I've been having a great time. I think I just read the first arc, and then I'm waiting for all of the episodes to be out on Apple TV before I get a free trial. I still have not done any watching of Apple TV, which is kind of crazy. I feel like they have awesome shows. But yeah, really excited to watch the adaptation. Let's see. Ooh, a lot of bangers on this page. So Claire and the Sun, I like really hated. But I think I am just too dumb. Not that I'm too dumb, but the author is like a Nobel Prize winning author, and I think I should have given him a little bit more credit that he knew what he was doing. Because at the time, basically the whole premise is applying like human constructs of morality and, you know, how to treat people to something that isn't a human and maybe doesn't know how that they're not being treated well, pretty much is what I would say the book is about. And yeah, and so at the time there's like no comeuppance, like nothing really happens. There's kind of like a messed up twist, and yeah, you just feel really bad for like the main character who's really earnest, and it's kind of like a vibes book, I would say. Like nothing gets resolved, nothing's really happy at the end. I don't know if well, it's just I think about this book all the time, and I gave it 2 stars, basically, is the best way to sum it up. So yeah, I do think some people say that doesn't really say anything new about sci-fi, but honestly, the more that I think about it, the more I think maybe it had more to say than what I really thought. And yeah, definitely if you like modern sci-fi, I would say it's important to read. The Pairing, this one was so good. I love this one. Casey McQuiston, I feel like she's I feel like they're hit or miss with me. I really liked I Kissed Shara Wheeler, did not like One Last Stop. It was just like a very, I moved to New York and this is how great New York is kind of book to me. But I feel like the characters in some of their other novels are so much more fun than I think both Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop. I think those also might have been the first 2 books. So maybe they're just getting better and better with time, which is awesome. Or maybe I should try again. I don't know. Cool. And then we're getting towards the end of the books. Oh yeah, so I still put, because I had a lot of thoughts about Reforged, I like still put it in, but I think that's the only book I've DNF'd this year. So I do include DNFs in this, which is kind of annoying because these are like 8 pages or 8 books per page. So it would have been really cool. Basically one spread would have been 10%, so it was really close to being like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, but it's not. Yeah, because I DNF'd one, so it's, but then I also haven't added 2 books here yet, so basically it's just more work for myself. At a glance, it's kind of hard to see where I'm at in like my reading goal progress. So yes, this is what those little book covers look like when I'm in the midst of drawing them. I don't always do like the cover that I read. Sometimes I do the one that's most interesting. Like Neuromancer, I believe this is the Portuguese version. Neuromancer is another one that's like classic sci-fi, but I think in contrast to Clara and the Sun, I feel like this one at one time may have had something new to say, but definitely now I don't really think it has anything new to say. I know. I think it is considered like the father or like the founder of cyberpunk as like a vibe. So it is cool for that reason. There's a really cool character in it that I wish was the main character, but the main guy, I don't know, he was fine. I didn't really care if he lived or died. And the story also was kind of fine. So entertaining. I wouldn't say I was like striving to pick it up though. Blackwater's Sister I really loved. This one was so good. Kind of like an intergenerational trauma mystery dealing with the past, expectations, family expectations. That was a really good book. Highly recommend Blackwater Sister. And then my favorite book of all time is In Other Lands by Sarah Reese Brennan. I think I've read it 5 times. I read it every year pretty much. But yeah, it's perfect in every way. It's really great if you... It is a YA book, but I would say it's kind of like why it pokes, not pokes fun, but it criticizes a lot of aspects of YA books that are easy to criticize, I guess. You know, like why are we using child soldiers in this like big war kind of thing? So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend to read In Other Lands. And then next up we have the aforementioned monthly recaps that are very sad, that I'm very sad about. Yeah, I don't even want to continue these. I just look at them and I feel sad. But that's okay, you know, there's plenty of other pages in the book that I do like. This is a super fun section, themed lists. So I'll flip through these kind of quickly. They're pretty self-explanatory. Books with cats. There aren't really, and books with dogs. There aren't really too many of either of those, to be honest. So yeah, I think once I started looking for books with cats and books with dogs, I noticed that how few times cats or dogs appear in books. I don't know. Maybe it's just the books that I read. Kirby books, this is actually the key for the next page. This map, very inspired by Joshi Koren. She did like a reading challenge map. I've been having so much fun with this. Also, this is printed on clear sticker paper. And then I put Midori MD cream like for the land masses. So this was so much fun to create. And then I use Traveler's Company stickers to like mark the ones that I've read. So yeah, I've been having a great time with this. I did this last year and I'm excited to continue. Then for book club, I just write down the date, the book I read, and like the snack because they're usually at a cafe. So that's fun. And then through time, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this one. I've read 2 books so far that have had specific dates. So maybe I'll do it at the end, but it is like, it's only 2 books. I feel like I've been paying pretty close attention, honestly, to time periods in books, especially, but I feel like I could only include books that have like, that are contemporary, I guess. I'm not gonna put like fantasy books on here or even sci-fi books. I don't know, maybe that's kind of dumb. But yeah, so far I just have 2 books for this section and I think I'll do this at the end of the year if I do anything at all. And then this list, this is just like, I do a fun like fall reading challenge, not reading challenge, for fall every year. I like to read a lot of fun spooky books, so that's what this list will be. My 100 is just a list of every book. And then this is the 365-day checkoff sheet is every time I read and also the color of the book that I read. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. All right, I went back to my favorite spread for a nice little outro / thumbnail. So yeah, let me know if you have a reading journal, what your favorite book so far this year is, all things books. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.